to Merrimere Terminal, number 3224-C. Bro, I don't know if you were alive, bro. I'm not sure any pony's still alive. Everything's crashed. The shield went up before the half dozen of us could get in the city. I don't know if you're getting this, bro. I don't even know if you're around to get this. There's green snow everywhere. Prim went out to look for survivors, and when she came back, she was dying. Gone the next day. So the rest of us just hold up here. Just feel like all kinds of nasty. Believe it or not, I've been making Wasteland characters to try and get by. It's fucking crazy, bro. After the bombs and death and everything, it's all there's to do. Ironic, huh? Well, that and fuck, but I'm worn to the fucking nub, bro. Like, can't even get it up anymore. Yeah, just like Grandpa. Never thought I'd say that, man. I wish you were here so you could finally take that cherry of yours. Fucking ironic. Fuck. You're probably dead, and I'm giving you shit. Sorry, bro. Lights are flickering again. Don't know how much longer we'll have power. Shields are still up, so hopefully some pony comes out of the city to get us. Just wish shit would stop screaming. I think there's some pony nearby that keeps on yelling. I'd bring them in here if they'd just stop. My head hurts. Till then, we'll just keep hoping. Take care. Bro. Shit. Now I knew why P21 had not shown me that last one. The little reminders of life, of millions who died for no reason, as millions of ponies that you could ignore. Lots of dead ponies. Whatever. But turn one of those millions into bro, and suddenly I was sniffing and rubbing my eyes. The dealer just looked at me from the corner office, his lips pressed tightly together in a snark frown as he pulled his hat down over his eyes. The lights were growing stronger now. The magic crackled a little less and started playing a little message about 2-for-1 specials. Don't be as dumb as a buffalo, partner. Hey, Blackjack, how many ponies do you think died in here? Scotch-Tape asked with a frown. 6, according to the messages, I replied, feeling tired. I thought of going back to the bedrolls by the counter. My head was killing me. Then, why are there 7 skeletons? Scotch-Tape asked. Or 8? 9? There had been 4 out by the register, 3 in the office, and that was all of them? I stood and trotted into the hallway. Bones. You overlooked them in the wasteland. There's so damn many that eventually you just shrug and go, oh look, more dead. But now I was taken in by the sight. I grabbed the sodden, rust-stained clothes and lifted them from the mass, raider style. The door had been locked, I murmured. To the outside, there wasn't anything to stop us from locking it once we were... P21 began, but then stopped. He looked around. Did you hear that? I did hear that. A high, distant noise, like a scream. I ran out to the main floor, grabbed the closest mound of sodden cloth, and heaved with my free magic and hoof. The lump broke free with a sickening wet plop, the soaked bones clattering free. Another, and another. There weren't 6 bodies here. There were dozens. Lacuna! I crawled out. Glory! Glory staggered into view at the edge of the 3rd floor balcony. Find Lacuna! We have to get out of here! I walked to the doors, my already unsteady hooves not finding purchase on the sloppy ground. Now that I was paying attention to them, it was impossible to miss the bones sticking out from the rotten clothes. Most of these looked like scavengers. What a score, they must have thought. Started collecting all the things left behind. I then fell asleep, wondering who was screaming. I wanted to fall asleep. My heart flopped in my chest. I swore I could almost hear the wet, slapping noise inside my chest cavity. But that was nothing compared to the screaming. It wasn't a true scream, not like some pony yelling for help. It was a steady sound, almost mechanical. I wasn't sure if I was hearing it with my ears or my head, but it was growing louder and more distinct. I ran to the doors and shouldered them hard, but the junk stacked up behind them didn't budge. I tried each one of them in turn, but couldn't find the one we'd cleared away. In desperation, I lifted my shotgun and fired 2 rounds. The ballistic glass chipped. God, this is damned overbuilt garbage! I screamed as my friend staggered out into the main floor with me. This whole building was a trap. Ponies would come in, not notice the innervation until it was too late, and keel over dead or die in their sleep. Others would come in and see the bounty of salvage and die before they could escape. It was like flank in the tunnels. I felt so tired, my head pounding. Worse, my taint just seemed to go nasty around the innervation fields. My heart was... crap, I couldn't describe it. It didn't feel like beating so much as undulating. 6 months might have been overly optimistic. We've got to get out of here. We're up to our horns in enervation, I said as they looked at each other. Ideas? Shoot our way out? Glory suggested, starting to stroke her remaining wing in worry. I pointed at the door I'd shot. She still blasted it with her beam rifle, but it merely scorched the glass. Oh, darn. None of this place was intact. I looked at Lacuna, but she could barely stand, let alone teleport. Okay, we're stuck. We know that. So, no pony, fall asleep. If your healing potions have any purple left at all, drink them. If not, toss them. Stupid country banjos played some folksy tunes as the lights now filled the store with steady illumination. Most of my potions were an unwholesome shade of brown. That was fast. Really fast. But if the enervation here was that strong, why hadn't we noticed immediately? Why had these bodies rotted? The enervation still wasn't strong enough to liquefy flesh, but it certainly seemed strong enough to prevent rotting. I drank the watery potion that remained. At least the others' healing drinks were in slightly better condition. Okay. Right now, I was really missing a super strong striped mare. If she showed up before we keeled over, I'd give her a nice, big, happy kiss. Okay. Glory, look for a back door or window or anything. I'll take a broken leg jumping from a 3rd-story window at this point. She nodded at once and headed for the stairs. P-21, can you rig a bomb to blow open the doors? I'll have to convert a few frag grenades into a satchel charge. It'll take a while, he said as he bit his lips, then winced. A trickle of blood dripped down from the bite. I'll get right on it. I'll help, Scotch said at once, and P-21 looked shocked. I don't know about bombs, but I know enough about fixing things to hand you tools and stuff, she said as she gestured to her utility barding. Finally, he nodded and trotted to the registers, fishing out the apple grenades from his saddlebags. That left me in Lacuna. I trot to where the mighty Alicorn slumped and pressed my horn to hers. Suddenly, that scream increased to the point that it felt like rusty claws in my mind, like it was trying to tear me out of my body. Why didn't you notice sooner? It increased, was all she said before collapsing. In that last moment, I sensed she was fighting just to keep herself together. Increased? How could it increase? I rubbed my runny nose as I looked around the brightly lit shop. We'd moved the scrap, picked the lock, came inside, started scavenging. I looked at the cartoon buffa thingies and the grinning sheriff. I preferred it when the lights were dim. It looked less like the cartoon was mocking us. Wait. A pink pony clicked on a light bulb in my mind. The lights came on, but not nearly all of them at first. Slowly. We must have tripped some sensor that started the automated system. As the power turned on, the innervation increased. Something here was causing the innervation. if it hadn't been bad with the power off. I raced towards the back of the store. P21 was busy. If this didn't work, he'd be our best shot at getting out of here. I licked my lips and tasted blood. I rubbed my muzzle again and looked over the crimson on my barding. Not good. I really didn't want to be reduced to bloody goo and bones. Rushing into the manager's office, I looked at the terminal. The menu didn't offer much hope. Sales figures, inventory, employee hours, messages. Then I spotted at the bottom store functions. I scrolled down to it and clicked. Store automation on, lights on, ambiance on, coffee machine, warning, critical failure. I didn't look much further than that. I turned everything off. The lights flickered off one after another. Then music crackled and went silent. The screaming continued. Okay, plan B. I pulled back my barding, took off a brace, and with my sword, sliced my foreleg. Holding the floppy limb outwards, I started to sweep it back and forth. If whatever I was doing was deep underground, they were screwed. But then I felt a sharp stab in the outstretched leg. The wound seemed to spread right in front of my eye. I did the worst thing possible, and started to limp in that direction, into the back of the store. There were just heaps of ruined clothes and other litter, but I kept walking even as my insides clenched. Whichever way hurt more, that was the way I went. This was a really bad idea. I could feel my injuries spreading, but the idea was working. Whatever the source, it seemed to be the far back of the store. Almost there. Almost. And then I came to a concrete wall and groaned. My head was splitting. My whole body ached. There was nothing here but a stupid metal box on the wall. A stupid metal box straight ahead of me. It wasn't big. Maybe the size of a hoof. It read, Rose Luck. Something or other. My eye wasn't seeing it very clearly. I slowly opened the box. Inside were a pair of wires attached to a metal ring that let out a baleful green glow. Just looking at it made my eye throb. This little thing? This was the source of the enervation? Or was it magnifying it somehow? I tried to reach for it, but the muscle spasms in the limb made my whole body ache. I lifted the shotgun with magic, but my focus was shit. Once again, Earth Pony firearm techniques saved the day. I fired into the box again and again, my ears pounding. 7 shells later, the box was scrap. The thin metal ring flew into the air and disappeared into a mass. It didn't matter, though. The glow was gone, and the agony in my skull retreated to a dull throb. The screaming faded into a whisper, and then silence. Slowly, I started back, the end of my left leg looking like it'd been put into a food processor. It wasn't hard to find my way. Just follow all the red. I limped into the sales floor, just in time to meet Lacuna coming towards the hall. Feel better? I asked, and then my eye rolled back and I passed out on the filth-covered floor.